absolutely right. The next speaker is Glasgow's newest MP, Anas Sarwar.
Thank you very much. I want to start with the message of peace. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. And I want to say thank you to all of you for coming here at such short notice to show solidarity, not only with the people of Palestine, but for the families of the victims of this immense tragedy today. They are not terrorists. They were peace-loving human beings going on a mission, and they have truly died as martyrs today, and we should remember them for that. And it's about time we did not only condemn the Israelis, but bring them to book for the injustices that they are doing over many, many years. And Israel isn't a friend of the global community. It is a stain now on our world, and we must start saying that loudly and clearly. I was in Gaza with Pauline McNeill back in April 2008, and the things I saw there, I can tell you, are hard to describe, and it's only got worse since then because of the war and also the siege that has continued since then. 70% of the population unemployed in Gaza. 80% of the population eating purely on UN food programs. They would not get food in Gaza if it wasn't for the UN there. 2/3 of essential medicines, as described by the World Health Organization, unavailable to the people of Gaza, and only 8 hours of electricity every day. That is simply unacceptable in the 21st century, and we must make sure the Israelis are made to pay for their crimes, because they are crimes. They're war crimes, and they are terrorists on this world. And I think we should say that loudly and clearly. People sometimes say, what is the point of protests, because they don't ever achieve very much. Well, I'll say to you this: apartheid, Nelson Mandela would not have been the president of South Africa. We wouldn't have seen the end of apartheid if people around the world thought there is no need to protest. It wasn't the work of one man alone. It was millions of people right around the world protesting in their communities, boycotting in their communities, changing, talking to their friends and their people that managed to make that apartheid come to an end. So please keep up the fight and keep up the commitment to the people of Palestine, because they must know that they have friends in every city around the world, and these friends we will not lose, but we will fight for them until our dying breath, and that is the promise. Thank you.
Thanks, Anas. The next speaker is Barry Levine from the Scottish Jews for the Just Peace, a group who personify the fact that Israel does not speak for all Jews, that our campaign is against the Israeli state and against Zionism, not against Jews. It is the very opposite of things about anti-Semitism. We are not about anti-Semitism. We are about human rights for all people. We are about the ability of Jews and Muslims and Christians and atheists and all the rest to live together in civilized peace. Barry Levine from Scottish Jews for a Just Peace.
Thank you, Jock. First of all, just to echo what other people have said, I mean, let's look at the facts of this situation. A convoy of peaceful activists taking cement, humanitarian aid, things for children, support for people blockaded in Gaza for the past 3 years, attacked in international waters, it needs to be said as well, and an illegal act by the Israeli government, an act of piracy in the high seas, this is. Attack, and we don't know how many people have killed and how many people injured, but an outrageous attack by Israel on a peaceful convoy. This has to stop. It really has to stop. I'm very proud to be here on behalf of Scottish Jews for Just Peace, standing shoulder to shoulder with other people here today, condemning what's happened, condemning the Israeli attack, and it's standing shoulder to shoulder with Jews around the world who will be demonstrating today, not just here in Britain, but in America, around the world, in Australia, and also tonight, importantly, in Tel Aviv, because it goes back to what Sandra was saying before. It's not just the case that all Israelis support what's happening by their government. Just 2 weeks ago, there was a young Israeli woman in Glasgow doing meetings here in Edinburgh at the Scottish Parliament, 19 years old, refused to join the Israeli army, refused to join the Israeli army on the basis of opposition to the occupation. That's the kind of bravery that we need to be standing shoulder to shoulder with. She's been imprisoned 5 times as a consequence of this at age 19, and full credit to her for standing up against the might of the Israeli state.
this, and we have to make a very clear message. And I think the call needs to go out of here from today that we say to our government, who have made a condemnation today, it does need to go further than this. We need firm action by the international community that says not only do we condemn Israel for doing this today, for condemn this outrageous attack, but we also have to go further and actually look for firm sanctions and firm action against Israel. It cannot continue to act in this way. Finally, I would also make a further call today because, as Jock indicates, the Israeli government does not speak for all Jewish people, and I make that very clear. And I know that what will happen from today is that people like myself will be called self-hating Jews by the mainstream Jewish community. Well, I make a call and a plea to the mainstream Jewish community. You have to drop the blinkered defence of Israel under any circumstances. It is unacceptable from a human rights perspective, and we need to stand up and actually call for human rights for all residents in the Middle East. That means Jews, that means Arabs, living shoulder to shoulder, side by side in peace. That's what we have to go forward from here to a just peace in the Middle East. Thank you very much. Thanks, Barry. A very brave man. The next speaker is having to be a very brave man just now. His name is Haq Chani, and his son Hassan is on the big boat that was attacked by the Israeli Navy in the early hours this morning. Haq Chani, where are you?
Folks, brothers and sisters, once again, the Muslim statement of peace. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. It's something we need a lot more of, and we can have a lot more of, but we cannot have any peace when we have vicious thugs, when we have terrorist states like Israel, states who trample on the human rights of everybody, men, women and children, and they love it most when they're fighting, so-called, against the totally helpless. People who don't even have food to eat, forget about arms to fight back at them. These sort of vicious people need to be removed from power. Now, a lot of people are angry at Israel, and I'm angry at Israel. But Israel is nothing unless it's supported by Britain and Europe and America. And the real thugs are those among the British government and the European government and the American government who back Israel to the hilt. And we have to realize the American community doesn't feel like that. It's a few vicious people, but we have to get them out, and the way we get them out is we come together. My friend from the Jewish community very rightly said that we have to forget our barriers and come together for the common good. There are things we all agree on. That's why we are here. That's why we are here. We need to do this more often. We need to come together for the common good, forget our differences, because there are vicious people who are out to destroy the whole world, who are out to attack the helpless. And you and I will not, cannot let that happen. So let's come together and fight these vicious thugs and their ideology. Less of this double speak. I heard earlier on the first statement given by the BBC, and I was amazed. If you had taken an Israeli government spokesman and put him in front of the mic, he couldn't have done a better job. So let's come together, let's work together, and let's get rid of this scum who want to destroy the peace of the world. Thank you.